This is Hold My Stethoscope.
Hey everyone, welcome
Hi.
back. It is just me and Felicia today. We're back together.
Yes.
I'm super happy to have you. So, obviously, I'm Brittany and I got my girl Felicia.
And I'm Felicia. Hi, everybody. Glad to be back.
Yeah, so we took last week off, took a little bit of time to spend with our families and enjoy
Yes,
Thanksgiving and work a little bit.
that's
But we're
it.
back this week. Super happy to be here. We've only got a couple more episodes left for this kind of our first inaugural season. And
Yay.
we'll take another break for the holidays and come back in the new year with our second season of this podcast, which is
Yay.
wild.
Yes. Yes. I can't believe it.
It's
Awesome.
crazy. Yeah. So, well, grab your stethoscopes and listen in because we are going to be talking about a hot topic today. So, we're going to be talking about nursing in this whole debate about whether it's a professional degree. And then Felicia's going to open up a back about where she's at with her journey. We got a couple things to catch up on and going back to work, etc. So, let's do the dang thing.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So before we get too much into our debate, I just want to give the viewers, it's been a little bit since we've caught up with you, and you kind of had a little bit of some side effects and some things going on. You came back from New York, you're back to work. So what's what girl?
Well, everybody, it's always a roller coaster with what I'm going through, but it's kind of to be expected. So, after radiation, I've been kind of experiencing some side effects from radiation, is what I'm understanding. So, although you finished the radiation and radiation, everything went great for me, the symptoms come post radiation. So, I've been experiencing, some pretty gut punching upper mid abdominal that's kind of intermittent pain. Like somebody's like, bam. Like as soon as I put food in my mouth, I feel this intense cramp. What I do believe it is, and I am not a physician, so it's just me always diagnosing my own body. Please always contact your physician. I do think it's trapped gas. I think the gas gets trapped and then the cramps start.
Now,
So
do they happen like just when you're eating or do they randomly come and go? Like,
it's when I put food in my mouth. It's like I can feel the food literally go down. And as soon as it's touched right before the stomach, I feel it. It almost makes me not want to eat, but we all know I have to eat and I'm hungry. But it gets pretty bad. So, believe it or not, just yesterday, I was reading an article that was sent to me where somebody follows a group on Facebook for those with pancreatic cancer. And one lady was reaching out to kind of see, well, what could her husband do? Because every night, and it's mainly at night, he would experience this gut punching pain like I would. And somebody chimed in with a get on your hands and knees, arch your back to allow that gas to move through. You know what? I'm willing to try anything. So last night we were eating and immediately the pain starts. Now I was out eating, so of course I couldn't get on my hands and knees, everybody, and do the arch because I'm sure that would have been looking weird. But I did sort of start trying to arch my back, just sitting there to try to see if I could get it to move. It helps somewhat. But what I think helps me is when Anthony, my husband, literally massages the bottom part of my back. I think it gets it all moving. It is definitely it is gas. Trying to move through that's just trapped. I do believe it's that because it's that gassy, crampy feeling. But it can be pretty intense, you know? So I've been kind of experiencing that along with the pancreatic enzyme, trying to figure that out. I have a doctor's appointment this coming Wednesday because I haven't seen that enzyme coming out in months. And now since post radiation, I'm starting to see that it's caused some issues for you, girl. Your girls messed their pants probably for an entire week or more, which was very stressful
Well,
for
and
me.
that's like also you don't get a warning, right? It's just like,
No, there is no warning. It just happens, and all of a sudden, I see this oil. And on some occasions, I've had to leave and go home. Like it's just really like bad, and it's embarrassing for me because I won't know, and then I know the smell of it, but it's so oily. I'm like, I got it has truly made me not really want to go out much, to be honest, because I don't want to deal with that. So I'm very grateful that I have my doctor's appointment on Wednesday and we will have a conversation about that and me going ahead and getting that CT scan that has been approved, by the way, for me to
good.
have done. So I need to get that scheduled and get that done, especially because the new year is almost over and then deductible. Start all over again. But I need it anyway. Like I am that girl that when I feel something going on in my body, to me, pain means something's going on. To me. Not everybody looks at it like that, but your body should not be in pain. You shouldn't be feeling discomfort. I like to just make sure, like I said, I believe it's trapped gas, but I don't have x-ray imaging. That's me diagnosing myself. So I definitely will get that checked out. So that has been kind of what I've been dealing with over the past couple weeks. It's been pretty intense. I do have some good days, but this has definitely lingered on a little more than what your girl really wants to deal with. So
Are you still
let's
having
just
issues with
pray.
like the enzyme, or is that getting better? No, just still
And
having.
that's the part that had me set back. I will be honest with you. To me, it was like, why is this occurring again? This was something that I dealt with when I initially found out the crampy and that enzyme, but I didn't know it was that. And then I found out. So, of course, we all know how busy the devil is. Gets in your mind, in your head, and then you immediately go to, what if this has metastasized and spread it? Why am I having reoccurring symptoms that I was having months ago and have not experienced? I've been through this treatment. It makes you circle the drain. It makes you think about a lot of things in life. And I still stand my ground when I say, please live your life to the fullest. Live your life. Stop putting off tomorrow what can be done today. And I have to take my own advice. Do the things that you want to do. If you want to take money out, take money out, whether it's your savings, retirement, whatever it is, if that's something that you really want to do. Because for me, I wonder if I'll be around to see retirement, and that's just being honest. So I want to enjoy every bit of this life while I am on earth and not be like, oh, maybe next year because we just don't know. Even though people are like, you don't look. I am very grateful for that. But we all know things can change in a matter of like you just never know. I never expected this in the first place. I don't know if many of you know, but this happens more commonly in men and not women. And I was that girl that didn't drink, smoke, put anything bad in my body. I watched everything I put in my body, and it still happened to me. So I'm telling you, live your life, have fun, do the things that you want to do. If you want to travel, whatever it is you want to do it because you just don't know what tomorrow will bring. That's me on my soapbox. Sorry.
No, I love it. Yeah, I was kind of saying it was like, been in this little funk, like nothing compared to you. And I was like, anytime I think like that, I'm just like, Felicia, she inspires me. She inspires me to be like, you
Oh,
gotta live
thank
your day
you.
every day. Like, you never know what tomorrow's promised.
Nope, you
It's
just
true.
don't. I really do, all in all, try to be positive. I do because I do believe that when you're dealing with something like this, your mind it can control everything. So if you're all down and out and stuff all the time, I really do believe it can make you sicker, or actually feel sick or look sick or whatever. But I feel like as long as I'm laughing and enjoying life and spending time with family and friends and Even though I'm looking at all that food that I'm gonna try and eat and can't, I still enjoy it, you know? And I just think that that's important when you're dealing with something like what I'm dealing with. It's all about your attitude. So, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, prayer, prayer. I've been praying and in my Bible, I've always been a believer, but never really understood the Bible much. And now just reading and getting the interpretation from even another book to get what I need. And I do feel like as a person, it's allowing me to just be more at peace and get through everyday life without stressing all the time.
Well, it is crazy because I mean, we've talked about this before, but like how much negativity, like when you surround yourself with negativity, how much it literally just eats away at you. Like,
Sucks the life
I
out you.
feel like more like just from obviously my personal standpoint, like the more you have those people around in your life, like it's just, it amazes you when you get away from it because you see like how good life is and can be,
Yes,
and then
yes.
when you're surrounded by the negative, you're just like, "I don't want that in my life." Like, I don't want that negativity. I want
No,
people that are positive and uplifting around me because it's so true.
it's true.
Your environment plays such a big
Because
part.
negativity sucks the life out of you so much that you almost can't get yourself organized when your brain is all like frazzled and worked up because you're just always thinking negative. But I feel like when I'm thinking positive and telling myself positive things and getting more positive reinforcement from friends, from family, from just people in general, I feel that there's clarity. I feel that I can kind of like get myself a little more organized, and stuff. So for me, it's important that, well, we all try and keep ourselves surrounded by positivity. But I take the extra step to really do that. Like I say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and I'm not perfect. And I have my days, I circle the drain. My husband will see it, but it's usually sometimes late in the evening when that pain is getting intense and it's just not going away. It will sometimes feel that way.
Human nature to like you can't be positive 100% of the time because
No,
life is hard. Like life gets the best of you, and like it's okay to vent and complain. But like when that becomes like your personality and your everyday, like you can't see anything positive, like that's a problem. So
absolutely. And believe it or not, Brittany, I know, like you say, you go through your stuff and then you say, "Oh my God, Felicia's so positive." The one thing I want you to know, and I would tell everybody, we all have things that go on in our life that may not seem to you as detrimental as maybe what somebody else is going through, but it's still a struggle for you and it's something that you have to work through. And I still say, keeping yourself surrounded by positivity and and not having somebody around you that's like, yeah, being negative when you're already feeling like not right or whatever, down and out, is really what it's about. It really does, help to just try and think positive. And that's why I'm on the road of, you just don't do to people what they do to you. I'm on that train right now.
it's kind of like cross into that segment. We talked a little bit before we actually started recording about the podcast about kind of like faith and our Christian beliefs and some things that we've recently been discussing and talking about, and you said you've been doing a Bible study and how that's really enlightened you and has kind of like helped you. So
It really has.
yours.
Like I was saying, it really has because when you do the Bible study, and especially when you doing it with others, sometimes other people can break down something that you just don't understand, and we started out with Matthews, and let me tell you, it's been really good. Like we take a chapter a day and read, but then we come together one day a week and we don't reread, we break the stuff down. Like And here's the bottom line. Not everything in a chapter are we going to understand, but the bottom line is that somebody else might be able to break that down, or maybe there's a book that's breaking that down. Then we're like, that makes sense. So that's really helped me because one of the verses is just basically not treating people the way that they treat you. It doesn't matter. You gotta be a better person because God doesn't treat us the way that think about how we treating him, coming to him only when we need him, not always, you know, thanking him, the one person that's going to be there for you no matter what, never going to turn it back on you. And I've learned a lot. Like when you ask God for something, and I'm telling you, I just really realized this one. You don't keep asking, okay? You don't keep asking, you ask God. So for me, I ask God, please remove this tumor out my body. Please remove any of those bad cells that I didn't want to come and grow into my body. I've asked. What I have to realize is that God has heard me. Okay. So I don't need to come back tomorrow and say, God, could you please remove the tumor out of my no. It's just like that kid keep coming to ask you for something. Are we gonna go to the beach? And you're like, yeah, we're gonna go. And then the next day, are we gonna go to the beach? You know how frustrating that is because what it means is that you just don't trust that that person is really gonna do it. So instead of asking again, you go ahead and thank God as it's already done. So now I'm on a journey of thanking God for removing the tumor and for taking any of those bad cells out of my body and keeping them out of my cell, keeping those out of my body. I'm thanking him like it's already done. That's what I'm learning. And that's been really, really good for me. It's given me peace in every way, home, work, in every way. So, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's important that, people continue to find that, faith, find God. It's incredible, we're both Christians, but like we're not perfect. We talked about this. Like
no,
we're we're sinners. Like as human beings, we sin. Like that is, an unfortunate part of our nature. God sent down his son to die for our sin, to forgive us
that's right.
all of these sinful things that we've done in our lives and continue to do. The best that we can do for God is to be more like him, to forgive you, to love everybody, no matter what's kind of happened to you or what maybe people have done to you. It's not our place to judge them.
Absolutely.
And that is
Absolutely.
incredibly hard for humans to be able to do because I will tell you, and Felicia could say this too, we're not perfect people.
No,
And we let things get to the best of us. It's to all of us. Best that we can do is strive to be better, strive to be
absolutely.
more forgiving, strive to be more loving and kind and less filled with hatred, and just embody all the things that God has done for us and try to do those onto others. He's the ultimate judge. It's not for us. Like at the end of the day, like I can only do what God has called me on this planet to do. And I'm still, hopefully following that path. I'm really hoping that I'm still
Absolutely.
along his path. I pray to him all the time to just, use me as his vessel. And I really want to make sure that I'm doing good in society and like, I am leaving a good mark in society. Like everybody has a purpose on this earth and, some people just take longer to figure it out, but we're all here
Absolutely.
with a purpose. Um, and God created us with intentions. Like God doesn't
Absolutely.
mistakes. We're all here for a purpose, and we just have to ask God and pray that he guides us in the right path, which he will.
And he will. We just need to listen. We're given the answers to the questions that we ask. What we tend to do is if it's not the answer that we want, we keep at it. And you're given that answer for a reason, you know? And those are the things that I'm learning along this journey. I'm serious. Like it has truly been, yes, a health journey, but it's been more of a spiritual guidance. Like I feel so much more at peace than I ever did before even dealing with something like pancreatic cancer, you know. I always used to think that was a death sentence. Who am I to think that? It was never up to me to know if that was going to happen. God already knows. And I know he's utilizing me as his vessel. I know that because of the many people that have surrounded me and I've been surrounded by. I can't even express to you the blessings that I feel, like, truthfully. Like, I really, really do. And like I say to tell you, and maybe at every episode, if I was not to even see next month, I have absolutely no regrets, none whatsoever, because God blessed me with this amazing. I don't know whether to call it a group or whatever you call it, because when it's like 500 people, it's more than a group. Like, it's just the love and support is just undescribable. And I will forever be grateful for everybody that actually has walked alongside of me in this journey. I'm not kidding. Like, there are people who've been there for me who I felt done wrong by me in the past. I felt, you know, but look at that. Look at God putting us all back together. Because you know what? That's what it's all about. Who am I not to forgive? I'm gonna forgive. I just never expected anybody to come and want to be there for me. And that in itself has just been mind blowing. Like, seriously.
No, it is amazing what God is doing through you. Like, I think we all knew you were, well loved.
Yeah.
You're fun and energetic and personable, and people like to be around you because you're Felicia. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
awesome. But until, like, this hit, just knowing how, yeah, like I said, loved you are, and then just how God is, even with this podcast and with all these other things, like, God is working through you to help, spread the word and spread the message and spread, like, good vibes, saying positive things about God and the future and religion, and it's just it's it's pretty awesome.
And wanting people, thank you, and wanting people to know out there that you're not alone.
Yeah.
I do get sad, and please know that I'm here for you. If you ever need to reach out, even if it's just to vent on how you're feeling and don't need an opinion to back up what you're feeling, because there are difficult days, and I truly, truly do understand. To this day, I don't know why this happened to me, why it's happening to me. Some would say, girl, you're going to have a testimony. None of us know what the reasoning is. But like I said, I am grateful every single day when I open up my eyes and that I'm able to get up and get myself together to work, or just be and spend time with my family and friends. And I honestly, guys, was like, I'm not putting up. I put up 7 Christmas trees, just so you know, every year. And I said, I'm not putting them up this year. I'm not feeling like it. And you know what everybody said? Yes, you are. You will continue to do the things you always do. And you know what? That was the best thing that anybody could have ever told me. Because you know what? After putting up my trees, and I still have some stuff I need to do, I never felt better. I felt great. I felt like me, because that's something that I love to do and I enjoy it and I love to look at it. And I'm glad that I didn't just, I really think I wouldn't have done it had I not had inspiration from others to say, yeah, you are. And now I'm like, okay.
Well, it's also like, it brings back to just this, like, almost in a way, childhood wonder, right? Christmas is a beautiful time, and
Oh,
at
I
the
love
core of
Christmas.
it, it is
Yep.
literally celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Like,
Right.
that is
What
this
it's
holiday
about.
is all
It
about
is.
him.
That's right.
And it brings out that bigger kind of picture too about that
Hmm.
holiday spirit that we all get into us. And, like, I was out shopping, this weekend, crazy, but, like, Black Friday shopping, and it's just
Yes.
there's so many people, and we sometimes, or even me, like, I'm in there at Target because Target's my favorite thing in the world.
Right.
And I'm like,
Charge, yeah.
oh, look at this. And my boyfriend's like, we're shopping for other people right now. And I was like, oh yeah. I got, okay, yeah, right, got you.
Good job.
But yeah, it brings you back to just being like, we are here to celebrate the
because
birth
that's what it's about.
of Jesus and to be able to embody all of the things that he was. He
Absolutely.
was
Because really, do we
tortured.
need anything?
Correct.
No,
No, I mean,
we
like,
don't.
he was, like, tortured and persecuted and all of that for us. So, at the end of the day, like you're saying, even when you're battling all the darkest things humanity can bring you, like, Jesus was and did all of that, and, like, he died so that we could all be saved. Like, and I
Absolutely.
think that's what this season is all about is, like,
That's what it's
looking
about.
at each other and being like, "We have somebody who's loved us so much that
But
he
he
went
gave his
through
son,
the worst of the worst," gave us this our his only son
his only
died for
son.
us, to
Yep.
die for us so that we
Yep.
could live, and it's crazy. It's
It's just
incredible.
crazy. It's incredible. It really is. So
Yeah,
I'm very grateful for
yeah.
everything.
Me too. Alright. Oh, I love it. We're just having a
Me
good
too.
time. It's, yeah, I feel like we've just both had this, like, reawakening. I don't know how to explain it,
It's
but, like,
true.
it's like, life's been difficult in a lot of different ways. Like, you've obviously
Right.
had a lot of things going on for you. Like, I've just obviously been super busy with trying to get other, things in my personal life situated. And it's been really amazing for me because I have grown closer, just like you have in your own journeys, to God. And, it's really
Absolutely.
about being like, I can't stress about things like, kinda like you said, because it's not in my control. Like, I am
It's not.
here living, I'm letting God take the reins, take the wheels. I have faith that at the end of the day, God's got me. I am not stressed as, like, all get out like I probably could be or should be,
No,
because at the end of the day, like, I'm giving that to God.
absolutely.
God's my person, and when you kind of almost have that, like, weight in a way help lifted off of you because like, God's got me, like, it's a lot more freeing.
No, it is. And it is it's amazing because with everything that I went through prior to this, I thought it
Yeah,
was the worst thing in the world.
yeah,
And you suddenly realize it's so petty. It's so what for what? Like stressing about whatever. And going through this has made me realize that, we worry about things that we really don't need to worry about because some of them are not even in our control at all, but yet we're trying to take control of it. We got to just give it to God and let go, okay? 'Cause it's not for us to be in control of. I'm loving my new journey, honey. I'm hoping that the rest of y'all will hop aboard because it truly, truly is amazing. And the blessings that come along with it. I'm steady getting blessings, receiving calls, being invited to stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about it, I didn't know, or whatever, whatever, because it just goes to show that God puts me on others' minds and then they reach out and then they want to make sure that I'm okay and what's going on and what's the next step in your journey. And I love it, guys. I love that I don't have to feel alone in this journey. And I never want anyone to feel alone in any type of journey that they need that support. I'm telling you, it's amazing and you can definitely see a difference when you have support.
yeah, it's incredible, so
It is
alright, let's get to the other main part. So we wanted to
the
catch up
juice.
on the journey and all of that stuff, but let's go into what kind of shocked the nursing world in the last couple of weeks. And that was, the viral like, conversation that's going on now where it was announced by the Department Education that they were no longer going to be categorizing nursing as a profession, which has obviously sparked a huge debate amongst the millions and millions of nurses out there in the country right now. So before we got started, I pulled up what the ANA, the American Nurses Association,
Okay.
kind of said in response to the federal government, claiming that they're
Okay.
in the profession. So they put out a statement. So the American Nurses Association is concerned by the Department of Education's exclusion of nursing from the definition of a professional degree program under these new federal loan eligibility rules. And so I think one of the other misconceptions was that this came really from more of them from a loan perspective, like a money type of perspective, which I mean, I guess everything does these days
Yes.
comes from a money thing, but that nursing and in general wasn't going to be considered for professional degree for loan eligibility. But the president of the ANA said nurses make up the largest segment of healthcare workers and are the backbone of the nation's health system. And at a time when healthcare in our country faces this historic nursing shortage and rising demands, limiting nurses' access to funding for graduate education threatens the very foundation of patient care. And many communities across the country, particularly in rural and underserved areas, advanced practice registers nurses ensure access to essential high quality care that would otherwise be unavailable. And we urge the Department of Education to recognize nursing as the essential profession it is and to ensure access to loan programs to make advanced nursing education possible. ANA encourages the department to engage with nursing stakeholders and revise the professional degree definition to explicitly include nursing education pathways. Ensuring robust support for nursing education is essential to the future of safe, quality care. So, ANA is, urging our federal government to reconsider. What's your take on this, Felicia? Let's talk about this.
Like, it's really sad, Brittany. It really is because I just think back to COVID. How could anyone say that a nurse is not a professional? Like, I remember us as ER nurses being on the front line and having no idea about this disease that's out there, or this, whatever they want to pandemic, whatever they want to call it, out there at this moment in time. And the world shuts down, but yet we still have to get up and leave our families and go out there and take care of people who have this and not even know. It's so unknown. To me, this is the ultimate disrespect to say that nurses is not nursing is not a profession, and that, you know like we said, it is a money, always comes down to a money issue. You don't really want to be able to give federal aid or whatever when it comes to those who want to be nurses. So my question is, so who's going to run the hospitals? Because if it comes down to this, I really believe you're going to lose a lot of nurses. You're already not getting any loyal nurses nowadays. They will leave you. And I just would like to know, what are you going to do if that is what if that's where we are? Who will take care? Because I know the world depends on AI, but there is no artificial intelligence that will be able to come in that room, assess that patient, and have that one-to-one time with that patient or family. Yeah, you can go and type it in if if that's what they want to do, and hope that's what AI said. But nobody wants that. You need a personal touch. There's some professions like nursing, because it is a profession, that should have never come up, period. Like, that's how I see it. Like, it never should have even been in that category of something that is not a profession, and it's really, really sad. It really is. So that's kind of it's my take.
It's it's wild, honestly, because
It's wild.
you're bringing up some really great points, and it's just so hard when you come at millions and millions of nurses and be like, "You're not a profession." I wanna be like, "What do you mean we're not a profession?"
So does that mean where would I want to wear to work?
Well, it's like, okay, so if we're not a profession, nursing isn't a profession, we don't have to act professional. Like,
Right.
if we don't wanna take care of somebody, we don't have to. We can just leave,
They once called it
right?
abandonment. Now would be like, well, you're in a professional anyways.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
well.
I don't
Like
act
we just don't
professional.
want it to go. Do we, are we really, I really think that something's gotta be done about this. Seriously. I think that we're gonna be in a world of trouble with this. I really, really do, if this is not corrected sooner than later.
Yeah, well, I had, so I don't know if you know Katie Duke. She's like a pretty decent like nursing kind of influencer. She's got her
Mhm.
practice degree now. So she had a TikTok I had watched about it. And she was just kind of like, well, what is a profession? And so like just me doing Google over here. But so a profession is categorized by having specialized knowledge, training, and skills. It's governed by a code of ethics and a standard set by a professional body. So that is what a profession is defined in. Let's
Hmm.
We have specialized training, knowledge, and skills that we train for and go to school for. We have a nursing code of ethics, which we have to abide by. And we have all sorts of professional bodies that we report to, including getting licenses by Department of Health in
Of health.
every state. Like
Thank you.
insane. So like I don't understand like how that is not a profession. So you're gonna rework all of nursing to be like, that's not a profession?
So does that mean that they won't have to take tests for licensure, or what
Yeah,
are we doing? I mean, I'm going to tell you this. Your organization will still mandate. So don't go in there acting the fool and saying anybody's saying from the podcast, you don't have to be professional. There's going to be your organization that's going to expect you to still be professional, whether
sure.
whoever is saying we're not. How, okay? Because I don't want nobody to go out here and lose their job because times are hard.
Yes, I like
Okay.
that
I can't house you.
disclaimer.
I cannot house you.
Disclaimer. We
So
are just debating
that
this.
is a
We're not
disclaimer. We're
telling
just
you.
giving our honest opinion on how we feel about this. But I'm gonna need you not to go to work and act a fool. You go to work and still wear your uniform. I was playing when I say that. Wear your uniform, wear your badge, and uphold to their values and rules. But you can go off. You can always write in to Brittany and myself and tell us what your opinion is on this whole topic. That I'm starting to feel like this world's a joke, and it's so much is going on. I know we got to be the laughing stock for everybody else. Like something, it's crazy. This is one of them that is absolutely insane. If we're
It
not professional, where are we?
it just it is nuts because we do have it right. I mean, I think this even affected PAs, and I could be completely wrong, but I think it
No, I
did.
think you're right.
I
I
think
think
it
you're
was
right.
anybody below a doctorate entry level was not considered a profession anymore. And I'm like, okay, so we have, our advanced practice providers that are literally like prescribing life-saving medications or all of these things, or treating patients in primary care or seeing them in urgent care, seeing them in specialty groups. Like they're
What happens to CRNAs? Because that's a registered nurse.
it's
She or he puts you to sleep.
later.
You'll sit here and tell me that you gonna go to sleep with somebody that's not professional. That's not their profession. Like this is just ridiculous. Is really what it is.
Well, it
Like
is.
when I first heard it, it was just crazy.
Well, it's like what other, I mean, there's obviously other professions out there that have the emotional like liability. It's not even just like the physical or the mental, it's like emotional and spiritual,
Yes.
all of the components that play into it. And then you're calling that group who is literally with patients during their moment they're born to the moment that they pass away, like holding their hands, during COVID, like you said, like people didn't
It
have
was
anybody. Nurses were
people didn't have anybody, and the nurses were the family at that bedside.
Nobody else was leaving their houses, but the
No, they were
profession of
scared.
nurses and professionals in healthcare were risking their lives
Did
themselves
anybody think
to
about
take
how many
care of
deaths,
everybody else. So,
healthcare deaths that occurred because we were around people's loved ones that were really sick, but we wanted to do the right thing because that's what the code of ethics tell us as nurses. So it's really just disheartening
or
to
like
be
even,
told that.
we talk about it like the suicide rate in healthcare workers, or even like it's insane, and you're like, "These people aren't professional." Like, that's just it's a crock of
It is, it
and
really is.
it's a
It's the
slap
most
in the face.
disrespectful thing, and somebody better get it corrected, is all I'm gonna say. I don't
Yeah,
know, somebody needs to get that before this world be in a world of trouble and nobody to care for anybody's loved one. So even if you're not a nurse or in the healthcare profession, I would suggest you fight this with us, or your loved ones won't have anybody taking care of them when they're hospitalized. Because I'm going to tell you now, your physicians may be able to order your testing, and I'm going to leave it at that. It ain't a whole lot more. So think about your loved ones, think about yourself. If something happens, think about, like with me, meaning this could happen anybody at any age. And I don't know what I would have done without the infusion nurses. They were my rock, okay? And you say they're not professional, okay? Like, you have no idea. Like, that really just really sets me off because I don't know what I would do without the healthcare. Everybody in healthcare and the way they move mountains for me got to be one of the most professional groups I've ever met in my life, okay?
and
You're taking care of people you don't even really know like that.
to
And
be
that's what we do.
taking potential funding away from a profession that is hurting because like it's a profession that is hard physically, mentally, emotionally. People get burnt out at a very
Yeah, they do.
high
It's a lot.
leaving, the bedside, and now you're taking away funding to replace that workforce that you, like, as society, were beating up on. Like,
And don't
it's
think the
just
pay is worth what we do, because it's not. It's not. Please no, it's not. You know, this is very difficult. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I really don't. But I'm really scared because if you're not going to give funding to make sure that people can go to school to be nurses, well, how many people going to go to school? Because I'm not going back and going in any debt if I'm not going to get any money. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, why would anybody who wants to have all this debt or whatever because nobody wants to provide? You think people have the money to just go off and pay for nursing school? What's about to happen here? That's what I want to know. What is about to happen? I really think that something better happened on the end for those who made this choice, because I really don't think that was a smart, not that I really don't think, I know it was not a smart decision.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a scary time. Like, healthcare is already in trouble, like it is, and then you add these extra components and elements. It's already a dumpster fire. Let's be
It
honest.
is.
Healthcare
It
is a
really
dumpster
is.
fire.
It is.
No, we do things in this country that are kind of backwards. Like, right, we don't focus as much on preventive medication or medicine. You know, there's probably a better push than when I was initially growing up, but talking about just wellness, like eating better and, exercising and all the things that we should be doing that we're not. And then
That we're not.
we're just focused so much on treating the causes and the lives, or maybe not the causes, but just treating it and not going to the root cause of things. And then you're now talking about getting rid of, or not considering, half of your healthcare as professionals. It's just,
What will happen to our mental health patients?
oh God, it's
Mental health is huge, and everybody has some mental health that they're dealing with. And just imagine there is nobody to care for them, to care for any of us. Any of us. Because that's what's gonna happen, people. I'm telling you right now. Like, who's gonna keep going to school for nursing if you find out this isn't a professional, you really can't get any money for it? Like, to help you go or whatever. Like, I just don't, I just really just don't know at this point.
So it brings me to my next point is, we've heard or seen a lot of chit chatter on, social media and kind of across the news. But, if you're listening to us now, like, drop a comment, leave us some feedback about what your thoughts are, because
Right?
we both feel pretty strongly about this. We've kind of heard from nurses, on to different social medias about this, but let us know. Let us know what you're thinking as a nurse, as a nursing student, as somebody that's in healthcare. Like, what's your take on all of this? Because
I
it's
really want to
crazy.
know because maybe there's a perception out there that's different from the reality that it really is. Like, but we want to know, you know, seriously. I'm telling you now, go work a 12-hour shift and then come back and talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. Like, it's
Don't
hard no
eat for
matter
12
what type of
hours.
nursing like
Don't
you're
pee for
doing.
12 hours.
Don't pee, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't, I mean, you're like, oh my God, for 12 hours. And then come back and tell me if you think this is a profession or not, you
Yep.
know? So
Yeah.
that's how we strongly feel about this. And we would love to know how you feel about this as well.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we kind of already covered like our dropping the stethoscope moment. But anything else? How's been back to work? How's getting reacclimated to
Being back
life?
to work has actually not been bad. I'm getting caught up because I was off for the month. So things were quite behind. My units didn't really get a whole lot done. But you know what? They've been just so amazing and receptive to being handled the way that I'm having to like dump the stuff on them and say, only have a week to get this done, or you only have till this day to get this done. I've not gotten any like, negative or anything like that. People are like, we're going to get it done, Felicia. And that means so much to me. And I do feel because I feel a lot calmer at work. I can see the difference at work, period. So work has not been bad for me. I have been working on my work life balance for a long time. I am trying to get there. Some days are better than others, but I'm proud of myself for not picking up work on weekends anymore or any of that because you know what? Life is what? Way too important for that. Home has been amazing. Family's been here. Daughter came home, for the holidays and just the love of getting up the decorations for Christmas. And so that has been wonderful as well. I absolutely have no complaints, work, home, or any of that. It's just wanting to make sure that the pain that I do often feel after eating, just wanting to know what that's about. Just because I want to stay on top and not ignore anything that's going on. And I'm going to find that out on Wednesday. So don't you worry. I will share that with you the very next episode. So,
Yeah.
but overall, blessed and just feeling great. Are y'all digging my new hair right now?
That was the first thing I saw it. I was like,
Like
"Your
it,
hair, girl." I
you
love it.
know?
I love, like,
Thank
the
you guys.
bun too. I know
You
I'm
liking my little
rocking my
guy?
bun today too, and that's not it's just complete laziness.
I love to be a different me at times. I
I
feel
love it.
like somebody else at times, and evidently I look like somebody else at times because people will give me the double take, which I love that. So, guys, I am so excited about what's to come in the new year for all of us. You
Too.
know, I'm just excited about the next journey and the next chapter, and we will definitely keep you updated. Don't you
'Cause
worry.
we do have, so our next episode, which will be our last for the season, is going to be a live episode. So, I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna work out.
Just bear with
We're
us,
going
everybody. We're all about
just
fun.
yeah, just expect the unexpected, because I'm not really sure
We
how
don't
it's gonna
know.
go. We don't really know, but we're gonna do it anyways
Yep.
because you
And
know
it's
what?
gonna be
Why
fun.
not?
Why
So
not?
we're gonna be at Felicia's house. This will be with her 7 Christmas trees. We're gonna have a couple special guests with us, and we are gonna just have a fun night together.
We're gonna have a fun night that you will join us
Yeah,
with
just
in
come
in
have
any
fun
way.
with us because it's the holiday season. we've had a great first season and, you know, we're still figuring this out. But I said at the end of the day, as long as we keep having fun with this, like we're gonna keep
That's
going.
all that matters. That's
I'm
all
just
that ma
keep
and
it
keep
there.
sharing our views and, even things that are not interesting to you, like, we just wanna share, and we're excited to hear your thoughts
We're just gonna
as
keep going.
well.
So yeah, we wanna continue to build this community. We wanna continue to just share fun, crazy nonsense with you all. And yeah, so please make sure I'll be posting a bunch on like social media over the next week. Trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna do it. We're
We're
gonna
gonna do it.
we're
It's gonna
gonna do
work
it.
out. I
Gonna be
have an idea, but
live
it's gonna work
next
out.
week, Wednesday, the December 10th.
Yes.
I'll give you more details as soon as I figure them out. But next week we will be live with our last episode for this season, so we're
Yes,
super
for
excited.
2025. And thank you guys for your support that you have given both Brittany and I. We love you dearly. And we're so excited about the next season because things will be changing and there'll be a lot more involvement. And I really think that that is going to really enlighten everything for everybody.
I'm excited. So
Yes,
please make sure to continue to support us by like, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of the things because we love to hear it. We love your
we
comments
do.
on media. We really just we're having fun doing this and we want to
Yes,
continue to do it.
we do. So, guys, we
Fam.
look forward to seeing you next week.
We'll see you next week, fam. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.